Welcome back to Giggle and Grow with Courtney
and Morgan.
We're so excited today. We're finally back. It's been so long, you guys, but we're really excited to start and kick off this episode. Morgan, what are we talking about today?
So we're going to be talking about all things mindfulness. We're going to be kind of going through some things that will improve your mindset, what's helped us to grow and just kind of find that daily life we want to live. So Courtney.
Awesome. Let's start out with what the definition of mindfulness actually means. And then I want to hear what your definition of mindfulness means, Morgan. Are you cool with that?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So the mindfulness, the definition, not the urban definition, but the definition of Webster is the practice of being aware of what is going on in the moment.
This is something I've actually been working on a ton. The Power of Now book actually is what brought a lot of light to my life in this. But truly, one thing about mindfulness that I've really tried to focus on is just really, noticing what your thoughts are. Once you really begin to notice what you're thinking and the spiral that you go down, you can almost put a halt to it. You can be like, where did this come from? And when you ask yourself, what was I even thinking about? I can almost promise you're not going to have any idea. So, that's a long definition of what I think it is. Courtney, what do you think it is to you?
I think for me, what mindfulness is kind of the same thing, understanding your thoughts, but also being able, when we look at the dictionary definition of it, and it does say the practice of being aware of what is going on in the moment, I definitely do agree with some of that. But I think for me, what mindfulness means is more about being able to understand what the moment is itself, and being able to recognize that the moment is happening. And so I think where we get to that mindfulness is that's where we practice of being aware. So I do like the definition, but I think for me, it's about understanding there's two parts in that definition. And the first part being understanding that moment, and then understanding that practicing being mindful is what's going to bring you to the moment, right? So that's kind of my understanding.
Yeah. And that's what the book says too. It's more just about bringing yourself to that awareness, but also practicing that every day, because it is so easy to get lost in our thoughts and not even realize what we're saying to ourselves. So
what's that book?
The Power of Now.
The Power of Now. Go get it now.
Yeah, so this is actually our first topic on here. This is something that I've had to truly practice. With our day and age, unplugging, it is so hard to do that. We're so caught up in checking out what our friends are doing, what our family's doing. We just get lost in it, right? So, when we unplug from things, it really can increase our productivity and help us reduce stress and anxiety. Whoa, right? So,
right.
Courtney, what are you doing every day to kind of unplug and just kind of bring mindfulness to you?
Yeah, no, good question. So what I do is, I think I told Morgan this a while back, but what I try to do is put my phone in another room. I allow myself to either read a book, and I allow myself to play with my cats. I allow myself to maybe even grab a LaCroix, a coconut LaCroix, and sit there with myself and just completely unplug and stay out of social media, stay out of everything that pulls you in. And I really have found there's actually a specific study that I read about that made me want to do this, was actually sleeping with my phone outside of my room.
Yes, I've heard
I think
that
we've
one.
talked about this, how your brain is actually still active when your phone is in your room.
Yep.
So by putting your phone outside your room and being able to sleep without your phone at all, it really does wonders on improving productivity, reducing anxiety, and increasing endorphins all together and focus. So that's what I try to do. Now, I'm not perfect, but I will tell you the days that I do it, I notice a difference.
Absolutely. No,
So, yeah.
absolutely. I will totally agree with that. I will totally go along with you. I try to stay off my phone for at least the first 30 minutes of my day. It's so hard to do. It really is. My natural habit is to grab my phone, check all my notifications, my emails, and then I feel good to start my day. But in reality, we need that time for ourselves.
Yeah, and when you do those micro steps of putting your phone outside your room, that's where you can actually dive into not having those habits control you. And so having those micro habits of, here, I'm going to put my phone, it's going to charge in the living room tonight and in the morning. And a lot of people are like, well, how do you wake up? An old-fashioned alarm clock, ladies and gentlemen.
There is a sunshine alarm clock, guys. I highly recommend it. My friend got me into it. I was like, it is so amazing. I mean, really, you set your alarm, and this clock will literally bring kind of the sunrise to your room. So you kind of naturally start to wake up, but it's not like this alarm clock that's like literally making you not want to get out of bed every single morning.
Those are tough. Well, I want to go into, our second mindfulness practice that we believe helps increase mindfulness and increase happiness and just an overall better life. And that is mindfulness meditation. And that is actually different than your regular meditation, which something that I do a lot is regular meditation. So regular meditation is where you have a mantra, you sit there, you say your mantra over and over and over, and you have something to hold on to, and you kind of just let your mind go to that mantra, and then you kind of let it go. At some points you fall deep into, it's almost like I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like a sleep state where you're just in your mind and you're in this mantra and you kind of let go. But what mindfulness meditation does is that's actually being able to like sit for 10 minutes out of the day and just observe your thoughts. Kind of what you were saying about mindfulness, what that means to you.
Right.
That's what mindfulness meditation is, being able to observe those thoughts and have no judgment. So just sitting there with no judgment.
That is so important. So important.
Yeah. So love to hear, Morgan, when you're do you ever do this?
So, I mean, it's not something that I am very good at yet. So we all start somewhere, right? Another book, actually, Total Meditation, is a book that I've actually practiced or read to help me practice meditation. And it really just kind of shows like the benefits of what it can really do to you, the inner work that you build, the growth that you see from that. I mean, I've even been told that, starting meditation in the mornings, I mean, it has significantly changed people's lives. Whether you have a 9-to-5, you're raising 5 kids, or you're doing it all, it can really change a lot. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So an app that I suggest using, I like your book. Tell me your book one more time.
Total Meditation.
So go to that if you're interested in just reading and having a self-help book, because we know our listeners love self-help books. But something that I used in the past was an app called Balance. And so what it does is it does cost money, but I think around the New Year time, which is what we're in right now, Christmas is coming up. So I think they do like a first month free or something like that, or first couple of months free. But what it does is it tracks every single day, and it gives you little rewards along the way. And it actually it'll start very slow on how to meditate. And it'll start with like 5 minutes. And then once you do it enough, you pass through to 10 minutes. And then you earn a reward each time. And you can go back and look, how many days a week am I meditating? How many days a week am I practicing mindfulness? And it'll even do mindfulness breathing, mindfulness walks. I mean, I used that app all through college. I don't use it anymore, but I will start after this podcast. I'm going to tell myself you will start using it again, because what I found is I just actually can meditate on my own, but I don't do enough mindfulness meditation, which is why I like that we were able to bring this up today, because that's where I want to fall back into.
Right. No, I totally agree. It's something that I have been truly, really passionate about, and I do want to just be able to grow more into it, hear other people's stories, what have they done to, really bring that mindfulness, whether it was meditation, right? What practices do they use? So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell us our next our next mindfulness practice?
Yeah, so this is actually my favorite. This topic here is gratitude. So, no, gratitude is literally like my absolute favorite thing. I think it can change your entire life, your daily routine, your relationships, the way you talk to yourself. I mean, there's just so much to it. So, we did actually find a study here where there was this review of 7 studies that include responses from more than 26,000 people, where it was founded by an association between higher levels of gratitude and lower levels of depression. So, with that being said, I mean, focusing on that, how do you essentially practice gratitude, Courtney? I mean, what are you doing?
I actually go and I have a journal that I write my gratitude in, and I try to write at least 3 a day. And I go back and forth between saying I am statements and this is happening to me and this is what I'm grateful for. So I do practice it and I've noticed a big difference.
Yeah. See, that is what I love about it. I mean, you know, what actually really opened my eyes up to gratitude was I saw this post, and I don't know where it was at, but it was about it was honestly about a marriage. It was about this guy and this woman, and they were just kind of having this moment of not knowing what direction to take. And the counselor actually told him to focus on a gratitude journal, and he told them to start writing those little moments every day of what, you know, that those gratitude moments of, you know, your wife and your husband, you know, those small moments that we forget daily. Because of, you know, we might get mad about dishes. We might get mad about not folding the clothes, or, you know, not making plans or a date night, or, you know, not listening to us, right? There is so many things. But of course, you know, on the other side of that is maybe they brought you, you know, your favorite blanket with a cup of tea at night. Maybe they turned on your favorite show because you wanted to watch it. I mean, those are those small moments that we forget. So
awesome. So it helped their relationship?
So it helped their relationship specifically. And it, I mean, they said that they literally, it felt like a new marriage. And he did this for an entire year, by the way. So, I mean, it took time. But
wow,
yes,
that's incredible.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
So in that sense, you can put that towards anything in your life, right?
So you hear that, ladies? Practice your gratitude for your man. And if your man feels like you're feeling a little ungrateful for him, sit down and write 3 things you're grateful for him.
Yes,
about, right?
And that could be for your family and friends too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're going to go to our 4th step of improving your mindset, something you can do on a daily basis. These are for everyone who gets really stressed out at work, and they maybe have their own office, or they're sitting at home and they're really stressed out, or maybe you're just doing laundry. Something you can do is add high frequency into your life. So binaural beats, the alpha frequencies, they're in the alpha frequencies, so they're 8 to 13 hertz. These are to encourage relaxation, promote positivity, and decrease anxiety. So when you are listening to these, I swear by it, your entire body, you will feel it from the top of your brain, like all the way down through your body. And you know where your third eye is? One of the things I used to practice was just touching that place and closing my eyes. And so by listening to that, I swear it's incredible what it can do for your stress levels. And so there'll be days where I'm working and I'll just turn it on and I'll leave it on. And you can go to YouTube and you can do these for hours at a time. And I promise you will not regret it. So that's, again, binaural beats in the alpha frequency, 8 to 13 hertz. So practice doing that. So I know I do it, but Morgan, have you ever tried high frequency?
I actually have. I don't know if it's, I guess, the exact same. We do like delta waves at night, just like for sleeping. And I honestly, when we put those on, I am immediately knocked out. It doesn't matter what I'm worrying about, stressing out about, like it's done for.
That's awesome. Yeah. So delta is the opposite, obviously, of alpha. So still still considered like I think they're lower frequencies, but still considered frequencies that are really helpful for depression, anxiety, releasing. And so what it does for your brain is it really just helps relax your brain. It just goes to show how much we are sense oriented beings. Like, we really, sound can really affect you. Right. So, and it's really powerful. So lean into that and really try to use high frequency to your advantage. And so when you're trying to focus on mindfulness, if you can take anything, put some YouTube on, do some high frequency. I promise you won't regret it. All right. Last but not least, Morgan.
So our last topic here is all about breath work. So I'm sure throughout, your childhood, high school, even adult life, you've always been told that, breath work can be really important, a way to kind of bring yourself back. And so, one thing that you can do in order to kind of focus on breath work, if you don't know quite what direction to take, is, I actually started with YouTube videos. That's how easy it was. If you just need kind of that guidance, just type in breath work on YouTube and there we go. You got hundreds, thousands of different videos, and just kind of, it might take some time to find the one you want. But just trust yourself, trust the process, and really find that inner tuition. So, I mean, Courtney, have you used breath work to kind of find mindfulness in your life, or?
Yeah, so I did a technique. I don't even think he's the actual founder of this technique, but it's called Wim Hof breathing. Have you ever heard of it?
I have
not. It's a very
not.
unique type of breath work that I did a lot in college to practice. It's very, very different type of breath work, but it will definitely help with your focus. So doing that, I would do that I think he would do it 10 minutes, but it's short spans of breath. So I would say if you're going to start somewhere, start with YouTube. But if you're somebody who's maybe explored breath work a little bit and you're like, hey, I need something new, try Wim Hof. It's very weird, I will say. He's kind of the guy. Wim Hof himself he is wild. He'll do some crazy stuff. I think he'll do his breathing techniques in like ice baths and stuff like that. Wow. So yeah. I used to do that quite a bit, and for me, what it did, it was really improve my focus. And I think that that's really what mindfulness is, and that's what breath work can do for you, is improve your focus and decrease those anxious thoughts. And that's really what I think we're all trying to do in life.
Oh, absolutely. I think so too.
Yeah, well, I think we covered everything today, Morgan. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we hop off?
I just think that as we close out here tonight, that it's important just to remember how important you are, that focusing on yourself is not a bad thing. Put yourself first there. Everyone else will come next to you when you're better for you. So
love that.
Yeah.
And have a great Christmas, because this is coming out around Christmas time. We're not quite sure if we're going to have an episode Christmas week or not. But still, tune in, and hopefully we're probably going to put our next one out in another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll get more consistent along the line, but keep listening, and we're going to keep growing and giggling with you guys.
See ya, guys.
Bye.